Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to have our lecture number 10, and today we will solve some important theorems of your book, and definitely and few questions which are related to these theorem. Now these are the important theorems. We have already done the first one, second one, and the seventh one. These statements we have done already. And now today we are going to prove the rest of these four theorems. 1, 2, 3, and this one is fourth one. The first one, these are very important theorems, and definitely today we will solve these theorems. We will prove these theorems, and okay, we will start it. This is the first theorem. Limit n approaches to infinity, 1 plus 1 by n is equals to e. Okay, we are going to solve it first. Theorem. The statement of this theorem is limit n approaches to infinity, 1 plus 1 by n whole power n is equals to this e. Now we use binomial theorem to prove this statement, and you know very well about binomial theorem. We have done full chapter in our first year about this binomial expansion and binomial theorem. So here we have 1 plus 1 by n whole power n, and as we have done in binomial theorem, what we will do, we will expand this expansion up to n times. So 1 plus 1 by n plus n minus 1 divided by 2 factorial and 1 by n power 2 plus n into n minus 1 n minus 2 divided by 3 factorial up to 1 by n whole power cube plus up to so on. And then we get 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 by 2 factorial n into n minus 1 divided by n square plus 1 by 3 factorial n into n minus 1 n minus 2 divided by n cube plus up to so on. So here we have 1 plus 1, that is 2 plus 1 by 2 factorial. If I split this n into, it means instead of writing this n square, I can write n multiplied by n like this, n into n minus 1. Here I split its power, n divided by n, then n minus 1 divided by n plus 1 by 3 factorial. Then again I split this n cube into 3 times. Instead of writing n cube, I write n 3 times, n by n, then n minus 1 by n, then n minus 2 by n, plus up to so on. If you combine it, you will also again get n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 divided by n cube. Now taking limit, which is n limit which in which n approaches to infinity on both sides. Okay, now we have taken limit on both sides, so I will write it. N approaches to infinity, 1 plus 1 by n power n plus limit, sorry, not plus, that is equals to limit n approaches to infinity, 2 plus 1 by 2 factorial n by n, n minus 1 by n, plus 1 by 3 factorial n by n, n minus 1 by n, then n minus 2 by n, up to plus up to so on. And now we will apply limit to all the terms, and this one is the constant term, so no need to apply limit on this constant term, but at the rest of terms we have n as a variable, so we can apply limit to all other terms. So 2 plus limit n approaches to infinity, 1 by 2 factorial n by n, then n minus 1 by n, plus limit, and this is the theorem of limit when we have different terms. So when we apply limit on the different terms, we apply limit separately to all the given terms. So limit n approaches to infinity, 1 by 3 factorial n by n, n minus 1 by n, then n minus 2 by n, plus up to so on. Now apply the limits. Okay. Now when we apply the limit, we have 2 plus 1 by 2 factorial, and when I apply limit, n divided by n means infinity divided by, here we have n or 1. No, before applying the limit, we have to adjust this n is cancelled with this n, and what we have 1 by 2 factorial, then n minus, if I take n as a common, so I have 1 minus 1 by n divided by n, and here we have limit n approaches to infinity, and plus 1 by 3 factorial limit n approaches to infinity, n and n are cancelled out, and then we have what we have, we take n common, and 1 minus 1 by n divided by n. Again here, if I take n as a common, I have 1 minus 2 by n divided by n, plus up to so on. Why I am doing this? I am doing this because if I apply limit n approaches to infinity directly over here, so what I get, infinity minus 1 divided by infinity, means infinity by infinity is an undefined form, and in our previous questions, as we have done some algebraic techniques, we have applied some algebraic techniques to avoid such type of a condition. So same is the case here. We are taking n as a common. Why? To avoid infinity, to avoid undefined form. So that's why I have taken n as a common over here, and in my next step I will cancel this n with this. Now you can see 2 plus 1 by 2 factorial limit n approaches to infinity. Now when I cancel this n with this denominator n, in the end I have 1 minus 1 by n plus 1 by 3 factorial. Again n and n are cancelled with each other, and I have a limit n approaches to infinity. 1 minus 1 by n, this n is also cancelled with this, and I get 1 by 2 divided by n plus up to so on. Now uh, at this step, if I apply the limit, I will not get the undefined form. See what we get? 2 plus 1 by 2 factorial. Now 1 minus 1 by n, 1 minus 1 by infinity. 1 by infinity gives you 0. Right? 1 by infinity is equals to 0. So that's why when you apply limit on this term, you will get 1 minus 0 plus 1 by 3 factorial. Again, if you apply limit over here, so you get 1 minus 0 into 1 minus 0 plus up to so on. Now 1 2 plus 1 by 2 factorial, 1 minus 0 means 1 plus 1 by 3 factorial. Again you have 1 plus up to so on. So by this way you can avoid the undefined form. Now 2 plus 1 by 2 factorial plus 1 by 3 factorial plus 1 by 4 factorial plus up to so on. And if you apply the values of this fraction, 1 by 2 factorial, 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 2 factorial means 1 by 2, and 1 by 3 factorial means 1 by 6, and 1 by 4 factorial also gives you some answer, maybe 24. And then if you calculate these fractions, so you get 2 plus 0.5 plus 0.1666, you have 6 times 4 times 6, then 7 plus up to so on. And when you calculate it, you get 2.718281, which is equals to this the value of this fractions. This calculation gives you 2.7, which is equals to this E. And so you can say limit n approaches to infinity, 1 plus 1 by n power n is equals to this. And because the value of this E is approximately equals to 2.7182. Now this is the proof of your first theorem, and here we have the next statement is the deduction of this theorem. We have a deduction mean when we take some results from any theorem, so this result is known as the deduction. So here we have one deduction from this theorem, and the deduction is limit x approaches to 0, 1 plus x power 1 by x is equals to E. Now the solution, limit n approach. If I change this as we have done in the theorem statement is limit n approaches to infinity, 1 plus 1 by n power n is equals to this E. This is the statement of our theorem, and we are going to prove this deduction of this actual theorem. Now, first, what we will do, we will use substitution method. We will suppose some values of this function to prove our deduction. We put 1 by n is equals to x, and through this expression we get the value of x, and which is equals to x, which is equals the value of x becomes value of n becomes n is equals to 1 by x. We are using the statement of theorem, and to convert this statement of theorem to this deduction, what will be the first step? We suppose 1 by n is equals to this x. 1 and 1 are same, x and 1 by n, and here we have 1 by x instead of this n. So we are taking some supposition. We have taken this 1 by n is equals to x, and through this expression we get the value of n, which is equals to n is equals to 1 by x. Now, whenever we take some supposition in limit, in those questions where the limit is given, we have to change the limit also. Means, I mean to say, when I have taken 1 by n is equals to x, okay, when I change this factor to x, we will also change the limit of n to x. So in this statement, what we have n approaches to infinity. And now we have taken the value of n. What is the value of n? We have taken 1 is equals to 1 by x. Means, what is the meaning of this expressions? Means now x approaches to what? X approaches to 0. Look at here, n is equals to 1 by x, and when nx approaches to infinity, here we have infinity, and the value of n is 1 by x, means this is the value for 1 by infinity. When we convert it into x, so 1 by infinity is equals to x. When we talk about when n approaches to infinity and we talk about this x, so value of x approaches to 0, because x is equals to 1 by n. 1 by n means 1 by infinity, and 1 by infinity gives you 0. So we can say if n approaches to infinity, then x approaches to 0. So we have done two important things. The first step, in which we have taken the supposition of 1 by n, and the second step, with supposition the limits are also changed, and we have decided the limits also. Now for limits, limit n approaches to infinity, 1 plus 1 by n power n is equals to this e. It becomes equals to, now you just apply the values of all these factors. So what we get, n approaches to infinity, 1 plus 1 by n. Instead of writing 1 plus 1 by n, what is the value of 1 by n? 1 by n is equals to x. So I will write here 1 plus x, 1 plus x, and n is equals to 1 by x. N is equals to 1 by x, and the one mistake which I have done here, and that is, we will not write this n approaches to infinity over here. N approaches to infinity, instead of writing n approaches to infinity, we write x approaches to 0. Okay, we will not write this. We will write limit n approaches to infinity. Instead of writing this, when n approaches to infinity, we have calculated that when n approaches to infinity, x approaches to 0. So that's why when limit n approaches to infinity, we have right here limit x approaches to 0, and then 1 plus 1 by n, the value of 1 by n is x. 1 by n is equals to x. That's why we have written here x, and the value of n is 1 by x. So we have written here 1 by x. So this limit is equals to this e. So this is the deduction. This is known as the deduction of our main theorem. Now, the third theorem, which is also very important, and instead of calculating, I have the solution of this theorem. So you can see the solution. Now, this is the third theorem. When limit x approaches to 0, ax minus 1 divided by x is equals to log of a or this natural log of a. So we will start the proof of this theorem. What will be the first step in the same as we have done in the previous theorem? We have taken some supposition. So in this case we have take y is equals to ax minus 1. Ax minus 1 is equals to y. This is our first equation, and as I have told you that whenever we take the supposition in our limits case, when we are doing the limits question, so when if we use the supposition method, we must change the limit of or question, because with the change of variable the limit will also change. So here we have in our question we have x approaches to 0. X approaches to 0. Simply you can calculate this limit from your supposition. If you put x 0, a naught minus 1 means 1 minus 1. So y becomes y approaches to 0. So we can say by using this supposition, when y is equals to ax minus 1, and when we decide the limit, what we say, when x approaches to 0, then y is also approaches to 0. Okay, two steps we have done. The first step, the supposition, and the second step, we have decided on limits. Now, also from 1, okay, now from 1 we have to find, in our third step we have to find the value of this x. So or by using our supposition, what was the supposition? Y is equals to ax minus 1. We take y to our left hand side. So 1 plus y is equals to ax. Okay, whenever we have some variable on our constants power, what we will do, we take the log on both sides. Why? To bring this x to in the as a factor of our equation. So taking log on both sides, when we take the log, what we have, log of 1 plus y and is equals to log of ax, and by using the property of log, this power goes to the back side of this log. So log of 1 plus y is equals to x multiplied by log of a, and this is the actually the property of our log. Now by using this equation you can calculate the value of x. We have log 1 plus y is equals to x log of a. For value of x, we take log of x to other side. Here log of x is multiplied with x, so when we bring it to the left hand side, it will be divided with the factor. So we get x is equals to log 1 plus y divided by log of a. Now apply the limit. Actually we are doing all of these calculation to solve our limit, so taking limit on both side. So when we take the limit, as we what was the question? The question was limit x approaches to 0, ax minus 1 divided by x. So we have write or limit over here, limit x approaches to 0, ax minus 1, and now we will put all those things which we have supposed in our question. So limit x approaches to 0, when limit x approaches to 0, according to our supposition, limit y also equals to 0. Okay, now ax minus 1, according to our supposition, ax minus 1 is equals to y, and the value of x is log of 1 plus y divided by log of a. So we have write our values, all our values. Now we apply the limit. Now limit y approaches to 0, y log of a, we have taken this log of a over here, y log of a into log of 1 plus y. Now if we apply directly log y approaches to 0, we get 0 by 0 form. So to avoid this situation, we apply some techniques, and the technique is we have taken 1 by y Here we have y, and we have taken 1 by y as a common from this factor, and both here, you can see here limit y approaches to 0, y log of a, and 1 by y log of y. 1 by y, from where y 1 by y we have taken, this y we have bring it to our denominator. So we get limit y approaches to 0 log of y, and this y is here 1 by y log of 1 plus y. Now if we apply the limits, what we have, limit y approaches to 0 log of a log of 1 by y log of a log of 1 plus y and 1 by y is equals to log of a divided by log of limit. We have applied limit separately. Log of a is a constant term, so we apply just limit to those terms where we have y, and 1 by y we have taken y over here. 1 by y before, our fraction was 1 by y into log 1 plus y, and by using the property of theorem or of log, the property of log, we have taken 1 by y in the power of this factor, right? Look at, you can see the property what we have, log of xm. We can write log of xm like m into log of x. So limit y approaches to 0 log 1 plus y power 1 by y. Now log of a divided by log of limit y approaches to, we have taken log to separate, and we just applied to limit to this factor, and you can see limit y approaches to 0 1 plus y 1 by y. This is our theorem, and this is our statement of our previous theorem, in which this factor, whenever we have limit the deduction of previous theorem, in deduction of previous theorem, what we have, limit y approaches to 0 1 by y power 1 by y. Whenever we get this type of question, this will become equals to this exponent e, and finally log of a divided by log of e. These both are, they are anti functions, so log and exponent are cancelled with each other, anti log are cancelled with each other, and log of a divided by 1 is equals to log of a, and this is all the, this is all theorems. We have proved the theorem, and we have one more deduction of this theorem also, and I will solve the deduction for you over here. Now the deduction of this theorem, deduction is, the statement of deduction is deduction. Limit x approaches to 0 minus 1 divided by x is equals to log of e is equals to 1. Now proof. As we know that limit x approaches to 0, e power x minus 1 divided by x is equals to log of a. So if we put a is equals to so what we get, x approaches to 0, exponential of x minus 1 divided by x, and this is also equals to e, and log of e is equals to 1, and this is the statement of our this was the statement, and by using previous theorem, simply we use this supposition and solve the theorem. Now the solution of our question number 4. You can see the question number 4 is looking very difficult, but when you are going to solve these questions, they are very simple, and they are just solved in one statement. You can see the first part of our question number 4. Here we have limit n approaches to infinity 1 plus 1 by n power 2n. if you see the statement, what we have in a statement, or statement was the theorem, we just in these question, no need to prove these theorems. You just use the statement of theorem and solve the question. So our statement was the statement of our theorem was limit n approaches to infinity 1 plus 1 by n power this n. The 2 is extra over here. So what we have done, we have taken this 2 outside of this factor. It makes no difference. When you apply n with 2, you again get 2n. So that's why this is just a technique, a simple technique which does not affect to our actual question. So we have taken this 2 over here. So the rest of part, the inside of our question, the inside part of our question is equals to this exponent, and by taking this 2 as in power. So again we get e. Now come to the second part, and that's it. This is very simple approach. You just need to use the statement of your theorem. So now limit n approaches to 0, 1 plus 1 by n power n by 2. In this part, what is the extra term? Extra term is this 2, means 1 by 2 is extra. So same as we have done in our previous part, what we will do, limit n approaches to 0, 1 plus 1 by n power n, and the extra part of this power we have taken it to the outside of this factor. So the inner side of our statement is equals to exponent by taking this power 1 by 2. So at the end, exponent power under root. This is the answer. Now come to the third part. Again, here we have limit n approaches to 0, 1 minus 1 by n. 1 minus 1 by n power n is equals to, here we have in our theorem, what we have this, we have here plus sign, but in our question we have a positive sign over here. So what we will do, we just take, if we, I will solve it. It's a simple technique, but I will show this technique over here. Okay. The technique is simply, the third part is, I will write here the third part first. What we have, limit n approaches to, limit n approaches to infinity, 1 minus 1 by n power n. The difference is actually the statement of our theorem was limit n approaches to infinity, 1 plus 1 by n power n is equals to this exponent. But here we have this n, here we have this minus sign. Simply limit n approaches to infinity, 1 plus 1 by minus n power n. We have taken minus over here. Right? And one more thing which we have done here, what? Limit n approaches to infinity, 1 plus 1 by minus n. If I write this plus n like this, minus n minus 1, minus n multiplied by minus 1 again gives you plus n. Now the solution of this, what we get? We get exponent minus 1. Therefore, limit n approaches to infinity means 1 by e, limit n, because 1 plus 1 by n is equals to e. When we have here positive, here we have a positive sign, we get exponent. But if we have this negative sign, what we will get? We will get 1 by e. I will explain it more. Limit n approaches to infinity, 1 plus 1 by minus n power minus n, like this. Now clear? This part is equals to exponent minus 1, right? Now this is the simple solution of our third part. Now come to this next part. Now the fourth part, limit n approaches to infinity, 1 plus 1 by 3n whole power n. What we need here, whenever we have here, we have n, so the power is also n. But now here we have 3n, means we need here 3. So for 3, what we will do, we multiply and divide 3 in our power. So we have multiplied here 3 by 3. So limit n approaches to infinity, 1 plus 1 divided by 3n we need for our theorem statements, and 1 by 3 is our extra term. So we move this 1 by 3 to outside of this factor. So again this whole part is equals to e, and the power is 1 by 3. So this is the solution. This is the fourth part. You can see it's also the same one. Fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, these all parts are same. In this part again we have a negative sign in between the two terms, so we simply by doing the same type of calculation we have used the theorem in this part also. And this is the last part, limit x approaches to infinity, x divided by 1 by x power x. In this part what we have done, we have converted numerator to denominator. So by conversion we have taken this power become minus x, and when limit x approaches to infinity we split these two terms because the denominator is same. We have done this because here we have a factor in our denominator, and whenever we have a factor we can't separate the terms. But when we have converted the denominator and numerator, we have interchanged the numerator and denominator. Now we are able to split these two terms. So what we get, 1 by x plus x by x power again minus x. Now limit x approaches to infinity, 1 by x plus 1 whole power minus x. Now you can apply the limit. If you apply the limit, you get limit or the theorem. Now you can apply the theorem statement. You rearrange this term. You can write limit x approaches to 0, 1 plus 1 by x, 1 plus 1 by 1 plus 1 by x, limit x approaches 0, 1 plus 1 by x, x minus sign was extra, so we have taken minus sign to outside and apply the statement of theorem. We get 1 by exponent. This is the last part of our question. Same we have done. Here they have used the supposition method. I will solve it with the simplest method. So you can see this part over here, the 10th part. Here we have the third part, 10th part. This part is limit x approaches to 0, exponent 1 by x minus 1 divided by exponent 1 by x plus 1, and x is less than 0. So as x is less than 0 means, or limit x approaches to 0, 1 by x is equals to minus infinity. If x is greater than 0, we take limit x up to 1 by x positive infinity. But here we have x is less than 0. That's why we have taken the limit, that is limit approaches to this minus infinity. Now limit x approaches to 0, exponent 1 by x minus 1 divided by exponent 1 by x plus 1. And now when we apply the limit, what we get, limit 1 by x means 1 by, when we apply the infinite limit 1 by 0, exponent 1 by 0 minus 1 divided by exponent 1 by 0 plus 1, and as x is less than 0, so by applying we get means limit minus infinity minus 1 divided by limit minus infinity plus 1. and this is minus infinity, and this is, it gives you 0, minus 1 divided by 0 plus 1. Keep in mind that exponent power minus infinity is equals to 0. So here you have an answer minus 1. So this is the end of our exercise 1.3. We have done all important theorems and the related questions also, and the more important thing is that you have some important results at page number some important result at page number 24. You must see uh, these result at page number 24 of your book. Kindly see the statement. No need to prove these statements, but you must keep in your mind the results of these statement. The first statement is limit x approaches to in positive infinity, exponent x is equals to plus infinity. This is the first result. You just keep the result. Two things are important: where the limit approaches and what is the answer. And the second is limit x approaches to minus infinity, exponent x is equals to limit x approaches to minus infinity, 1 by exponent minus x is equals to 0. And the third result is limit x approaches to plus minus infinity, a divided by x is equals to 0, where a is any real number. So these are the three statements which you just keep in your mind the result of these theorems, and these are very important according to your paper also. So this is the end of today's lecture. Thank you very much.